100 block of Rhode Island Avenue Northwest. Pursuant to a D.C. Superior Court arrest warrant, members of Cardiff arrested 36-year-old Rico Barnes of Northwest D.C. yesterday afternoon. Barnes is charged with first-degree murder while armed, felony murder. This was a particularly heinous case. Mr. Hussein was found suffering from blunt force trauma and thermal injuries inside of his apartment. On behalf of the entire Metropolitan Police Department, I want to express my deepest sympathies to Mr. Hussein's family and his friends. We know that this news does not ease the pain that you're feeling, but we hope it does bring some level of closure in the situation. For more information on the investigation, I'm going to turn it over to Commander Kevin Kentish of our Criminal Investigations Division.
Good evening. On Wednesday, February 11, 2026, at approximately 3:30 a.m., members of DC Fire and EMS responded to a report of smoke in the hallway of an apartment complex in the 1400 block of Rhode Island Avenue Northwest. Firefighters entered the apartment, extinguished a small fire, and located Mr. Hussein deceased. MPD homicide detectives responded and have worked tirelessly since the morning to determine what happened to Mr. Hussein. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner ruled Mr. Hussein's cause of death to be blunt force trauma and strangulation. The fire was set after Mr. Hussein was deceased. Video evidence was key in this case. Detectives quickly uncovered video from inside the apartment complex where the offense occurred. The video shows two suspects appearing to follow Mr. Hussein into the building at approximately 1:30 a.m. Mr. Hussein entered the building. Shortly thereafter, the suspects knocked on the door and Mr. Hussein allowed them inside the building. The suspects assaulted Mr. Hussein in the lobby and then forced him towards his apartment. Our homicide detectives poured countless hours into locating video that captured the suspects after they left Mr. Hussein's apartment. As a result of that work, 36-year-old Rico Barnes was developed as a suspect in this case. Working with our partners in the United States Attorney's Office, our detectives obtained a D.C. Superior Court arrest warrant charging Mr. Barnes with first-degree murder while armed felony murder. We have identified a second suspect in this case. He is currently being held on unrelated charges, and charges against him are forthcoming in the near future. There is no outstanding suspects in this case, and we do not believe Mr. Hussein had any prior relationships with our suspects before the day he was deceased. I'll turn it back over to Chief Carroll for further statements.
Thank you, Commander Kentish. I want to commend Detective Natasha Kennedy and the members of MPD's Homicide Branch for their work on this case. This was strong detective work, and it's the effort our members pour into each case every single day. I also want to thank our partners at the Metro Transit Police Department for their assistance in recovering videos that were pivotal to this investigation. And we also want to thank the U.S. Marshal Service and the members of Cardiff who took Mr. Barnes into custody yesterday. There are many specifics in this case that we can't go into, but I'll take a few questions at this time.
Do we know exactly why? I mean, was this a robbery attempt or anything like that?
Sure. So what we know at this time is there was no pre-existing relationship between the suspects and Mr. Hussein in this case. We do know that Mr. Hussein had been out, returned back home. At this point, we know that while they were inside the apartment, they stole items from inside of his apartment. So it appears once they were inside, the motive was to take items from inside of his house.
So it seems like this was a random attack then, right?
Yeah, at this point, we have no indication there was any relationship or any knowledge of them before this. So it appears they just picked him as he was walking back home early in the morning, 1:30 in the morning.
Chief, I can ask to clarify. You said that on video it said that it looked like the victim allowed them into the building.
Yeah, so the video information we have is after he entered inside of the apartment building, they kind of knocked on the door and then he opened the door to let him in.
Do these two suspects have any other victims, maybe unrelated to this case?
At this point, we do not believe they relate to any other cases.
Jeff, what troubles me about this case, and I've read the Gerstein, is that there was a witness to this. The witness is allowed to leave. These guys do what they did. Everything's caught on video. Your detectives find video of them going onto a bus, up to a house. Everything's caught on video. And for what? I mean, can you speak to the randomness and the brutality in this case?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very tragic case. In this case, like I said, Mr. Hussein was literally just going out to get food and coming back home. And, you know, They knocked on the door. He let them inside. I'm sure he probably thought it was somebody else from the building and things like that. And unfortunately, we see things like that all the time where there may be a fellow neighbor in an apartment building or things like that, and folks will let him in. In this case, they just took advantage of him completely. And as I said, this is a heinous crime as far as the injuries that he was inflicted upon him. It's just terrible. I mean, there's no words to put in there. And then they just casually leave the scene there. So it's a tremendous impact overall to the community. And that's why I think it's such a testament that, I mean, this happened in February, and we're able to bring this case to closure so quickly. But it's because of all the cooperative efforts of not only MPD, but our partners that are out there to bring this case to closure.
What about this, what fascinates me is this phenomenon of people just commit these crimes in front of cameras knowing that they're committing them in front of cameras, and you guys go and catch them.
Yeah, I mean, cameras are everywhere, and we hope that that'll be a deterrent to prevent criminal behavior, but there are people that are out there for other motivations with that. So, for us, one of the things we always talk about is just trying to push out information about the community, ways to keep yourself safe. But in this case, it was just an innocent person who was walking home who was taken advantage of, which is very, very scary.
And based on what I read, it appears that the sole reason for this was to take whatever he had in his apartment.
Yeah, it does appear that the whole purpose was to take items from inside of his apartment. That's correct.
Are you able to elaborate on forced trauma, or are you kind of keeping it at that for now?
Yeah, we're keeping that for now. I mean, there's additional information, as Paul mentioned, the Gerstein's out there to get into more detail, but I mean, for these purposes, publicly.
The second suspect held on an unrelated charge. Do we have a name on that second suspect yet?
So he is being held on unrelated charges. Once formal charges are brought forth, we will publicly announce his name.
Are you able to say what the unrelated charges are?
I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but we expect in the next few days we'll be able to publicly announce and charge him.
Can I ask one more thing? I know that Paul kind of touched on this a little bit, but in terms of, it seems like obvious, like, you know what I mean, in terms of don't open the door for people you don't know, but could you elaborate a little bit on what community members should think about and do, in these instances?
Yeah, I mean, we always encourage people, especially if you're going to go out late at night, go out in pairs we can, stay in well-lit areas. If you do have people that come, if you're in an apartment building or a multi-unit facility, if someone comes to the door that you don't know, and I know this can be challenging sometimes, is not to let them in. If they have somebody else in the building they're there to visit, have them call them directly. And if you do see anything suspicious out there, please call 911 right away so we can get officers out there in the area to investigate.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.